Good afternoon, everyone. I hope my voice is loud enough for everyone. Okay, thank you. Hi, I'm Gillian. I'm actually from Singapore, representing Elsevier, same team with Ryan, but responsible for ScienceDirect. Just around the room, who doesn't know what is ScienceDirect? It's okay. Tell me who doesn't know, Ryan. So I assume you know ScienceDirect.com? Okay, great. Today I'm going to spend the rest of the time. I hope to make it just quick and snappy. For the next half an hour, some slides in terms of how we actually evolved ScienceDirect since March this year. And like what Ryan said earlier, everybody is so into AI these days. Even Ryan or myself come into this room, everybody is using it in one way or another. And what we also understand is that since researchers are using ScienceDirect, like every one of you know what ScienceDirect is, and it's the first tool or the only tool that is relied by researchers mostly day in, day out. It just makes absolute sense that you also use AI embedded technology within ScienceDirect.com. And hence in March, we actually launched ScienceDirect AI. And library has actually requested us to actually activate access for the whole UMT campus. Like Access, starting from today, you will have free access to ScienceDirect AI within your same library proxy server access. You can see it seamlessly access available to all of you. So the trial is open up for the whole of December. Please make full use of it. And share it with your peers and researchers, students, and entire faculty. So since all of you know what ScienceDirect.com is, should I test you all? I think I will be kind to this group. Not entirely, but ScienceDirect actually hosts 20 million articles, journal articles, with over 2,700 peer-reviewed journals. And as of today, we have almost 50,000 ebooks content within ScienceDirect, 375 topic pages, about up to date, about 800 open access applications with 3.3 million open access articles within the ScienceDirect.com. UMT have access to ScienceDirect entirely, almost every subject area, be it whether you are in the marine, food science, chemist itself, you have access to the content. So I'm glad that all of you were nodding your head when I say that, do you know ScienceDirect? It's because it's the number one, Danny, if you can go, it's the number one platform globally, a top 200 platform ranking in the internet. And in Malaysia, it's the number one platform used by all the researchers in Malaysia, in public and private universities. So there are 2 times more monthly visitors to the next competitor, which they are sitting there actually, I should say it lower, but compared to other platforms, it's the number used platform. 88% of the researchers say ScienceDirect saves time. So rather than going to google.com or other platform publishers as well, they feel that spending time within ScienceDirect actually is more worthy of their time. It's because they can get the high impact knowledge and articles within the platform on ScienceDirect more than other platforms. So if you have just an hour or 5 hours of your time to do research, you'd rather spend it to a go-to place like the ScienceDirect.com. And we understand that since the trust has been given to Elsevier ScienceDirect.com for the last 25 years, we also feel that we can take the next level of research further with the AI technology built within ScienceDirect. And that's why we actually launched ScienceDirect.ai.com. So, Danny, if you can help me move the slide. This is the current interface, or the traditional interface that you are seeing on ScienceDirect.com. Familiar? What you do is a keyword search. traditionally open, close bracket, keywords of what you may deem important food science, nutrition, whatever keyword, and or you may have a very long algorithm of search. That's the traditional way. Before March or before AI literally launched, that's where you traditionally do your keyword search. And what you want to do is maybe, Benny, take you to the next level by enhancing your research, because we understand that research needs to deliver the most relevant and reliable content on ScienceDirect. It's very critical for researchers today because you're racing against time compared to your other peers sitting beside you at other universities or global competitors out there. So we understand that by first finding relevant document for research and learning will take time longer than expected. We understand that. So may I just ask the people in this room, literally how much time do you spend just doing literature review? This example here, it says 14 hours per week, 35% of the time by researchers to discover and read document. This 35% was coming from researchers in US, UK, Australia. And they didn't ask from Malaysia, they didn't ask from Indonesia, they didn't ask from China. You know why I quote these three places? Those are English-speaking countries. They spend 35% of their time reading. But when I reflect on myself, I'm a Singaporean. I may read fast, but I definitely cannot read as fast and understand the article faster than an American because of their native language. And maybe across, I assume most of you are Malaysian and maybe some Chinese nationals itself, and maybe from, I don't know what I mean, I don't assume Malaysia take time to understand a document. So now back to the question. Literally, how much time do you spend per week? 35% really? Most of the time, 35%. That's quick. Let's consider it quick. Because when I asked some people were quoting me 60% of their time spending on reading. Malaysia. Some nodding here. Is it 60 for you or 50? About there. From 35% of the time to 50% of the time you spend on literature review. If you can spend your time more wisely on other things like finding collaborators, doing more experiments, will you be more happy because you are moving forward a little bit, progressing in terms of your research, rather than spending half of the time doing literature review? So this is one of the pain points that the researchers are telling us, that we spend too much time because there are too many articles to read. Whether we are reading the right thing. So what we did is, Benny, may I get your help? So let's say goodbye to wasting of time reading and hello to relevancy, because we want to get to the result that we want. But how do we do that? That's where the ScienceDirect AI do. Forgetting about the original keyword search, we now converse with the ScienceDirect AI. Ask the question that you have in your head. Like if you are working on food science, what is the research topic that you might have in mind? Use your own language. So if you are using Bahasa, go ahead and use Bahasa. If you are using Putonghua Chinese, you can use Putonghua as well. So you can use Japanese, whatever. What you can keep using your own comfortable language into the ask box of ScienceDirect AI. It will generate the summary based on research article sitting within ScienceDirect. So the keyword here is article sitting within ScienceDirect. When you use other AI tool right now, like ChatGPT, Gemini, etc., do you know the summary that they are generating out, where are the sources of the summary coming from? There was one TikTok or post that I seen someone use that to plan for travel itinerary. He just quoted his for travel itinerary. But one of these influencers forgotten. They are coming from a country which has a lot of strict visa requirements. ChatGPT forgotten to quote that. She literally went to that country with a visa. Her whole holiday was flawed. So imagine in the research world, if you were to use ChatGPT to submit for your PhD, final paper, assignment projects, you put your name in there. What are you going to be building a reputation for yourself? You are using that whatever that you use on chat, if it's not trusted, your name will be tarnished. And what is most important to the researcher? Your own reputation. And if your reputation is at stake, to get it back is very hard. Your reputation to your lecturer, your student is tarnished. So what we're trying to also help the universities and help the students know that with AI, we're not stopping. Most universities are embracing AI. But when you embrace, you need to know your boundaries. What you can do and what you cannot do. And what ScienceDirect AI is, since researcher has trusted ScienceDirect AI so much, your research should also be purely based on peer-reviewed, high-impact journal articles and books. And with this technology, or using AI on ScienceDirect, you are able to enter your own keywords within ScienceDirect, and you can see here, every summary that it gives you will give you a reference to fall back on and read. We are still training the researcher of today how to think and how to do research. We are not articulating and writing the paper for you. We are only helping you to formulate your thought process of a research topic so that it allows you to guide you to the resources relevant to what you are thinking at this current moment. And if you are curious about this, you can hover over every summary that it has generated on the research article that it will pull out and display to your view. Also, it's also your research companion. When you actually ask a question, you may be using a most layman immediate mind or what research topic you are curious about. What is amazing over here is that you will also pull relevant insights that say, hey, Dr. Daniel, so you like to read other articles related to this. It will draw you to certain articles that may have an impact to what your research question is asking. So rather than if you're working on a and you're doing a project, you have no one to bounce your idea with. ScienceDirect AI allows you to run through your research question that you are taught on. It will also provide related insights for you to discover during your free time. So rather than doing all the keyword search, it will pop up relevant research articles that will be meaningful to your research question. Thank you. And since this is the question that you asked, would you be keen to actually ask another question related to it? So it helps to build your knowledge within the research topic that you have key in, so that you can understand the topic in more depth. Yes, okay. Secondly, we learned that comparing and synthesizing research can be a brain's task. When we say literature review, we really spend about 35% to 50% of time reading it. Some people were also telling us that synthesizing is even more control for them. And we understand that. So what we did is we want to allow you to have the comparison table to allow you to have the first glimpse of all the experiments within the article. So this table is pulled out based on the original question that you have entered under ScienceDirect AI. Based on the question, it pulls out an experiment table of all the articles related to it. Just now they were pointing to different articles. He will also summarize the experiments, goals, materials, methods, results in a table format. And do you notice one article may have 2, 3, or 10 experiments? And one article could be 36 pages long. It's a 36-page article. How much time do you spend reading that 36 pages? How much time do you pull out experiments in this Excel format? Some people say that actually it took them at least a month to pull out all these experiments. I didn't say it on my own. I was asking one Malaysian PhD student, he said he was literally spending 1 month, whereas I was doing it in 1 click. I'll show you in a bit. And this is downloadable in CSV. Of course, we are not asking you to copy and paste it to your assignment. We are asking you to, you can pull results, you can validate those information, you can do more lab tests and experiments subsequently. Thirdly, we understand that understanding the entire article can be quite painful and it's not easy. So what we did is we also built in this reading assistance within ScienceDirect AI, and to allow you to dig deeper and read smarter. How does that work? Is that when you actually find there's relevancy on a particular article that you would like to read, going back to the same example of a 36-page long article. If you were wanting to read a particular article itself, can you really be able to help me move that cursor? Okay. So imagine if you are keen to read this article in depth, that article may be 36 pages long. It will, at the very beginning, tell you why this article is important. Explain to you this article is important because of this particular paragraph. And then you can decide that whether you want to read this article in depth. So it already summarizes why this article is meaningful for you. And then if this article is really relevant and you would like to understand further about this article, you can converse by asking follow-up questions. It's as though you're talking to the article, so it guides you to the relevancy or which paragraph that is relevant. That means in the past, when you're doing a traditional keyword search, you may have to download 10 article, 20 article, 30, go through one by one, maybe do Control F, fine, and then start to see which paragraph you want to read. Gone are those days. You can talk to the article and see which paragraph it will direct you to the particular paragraph of your interest. So, of course, there will be chances that this article may not be relevant. There might be other article over here that will be relevant. So what it means is that you can glance at it, understand briefly about this topic, and then if it's not relevant, move on. That's why the keyword here is important, relevancy. What is relevant for you? Look into this. Spend your time wisely on article that makes an impact and a difference for you. And you can skip to the next relevant article for your literature review. Yep, Penny, if you could, go on. So if you can move on. So as I mentioned, now the ScienceDirect AI has already been activated, and if you are on your, just now with the reaccess, I'm pretty sure you already have access from your library website. And if you can go to ScienceDirect.com. They have, okay, great. So can I just trouble you all to go to the ScienceDirect.ai.com? It should be the, is that the library page. ScienceDirect. If you click ScienceDirect, yeah. So do you see ScienceDirect AI, ScienceDirect just now on your library page? Are you there on that page? And if you still see the traditional keyword search, all you need to do is click the ScienceDirect AI icon on top. It's all up there, right? So you can use the examples below, or you can use your own research topic that you have in mind right now. Ask ScienceDirect AI any research question that you're working on. I think just now you were also asking Ryan on the research topic, right? So you already asked a question to ScienceDirect AI? Yeah. Yes.
Paste the URL
in okay. For those that are online, the librarian has actually keyed the link for the ScienceDirect AI on the chat box. Please click on them and navigate the site. If you have any questions, the librarians are also managing the chat room. You can ask any questions on the chat room. So Dr. Benny has helped me answer this question. What are the biomaterials used in hearing applications? And if you please ask. So now you can see the system, the platform is generating a summary. It's now selecting the data source ScienceDirect. It's not from the web, it's not from Google, it's not from anywhere else, but on a trusted peer-reviewed journal and books platform within ScienceDirect. So then we can go up again. Can you click the summary steps one more time? Okay. I want to let you know that when you are doing ScienceDirect, what is it searching through? That's why I'm going through this to let you know that why is it important compared to other AI tools? Because it's using the ScienceDirect as the source data. So you can trust that the content is from a peer-reviewed journal and other. And next is analyzing and optimizing your question. Why? It's because the technology itself needs to understand the language that you are keying in. Sometimes there's grammatic error and the formulation of the sentence may not be perfect. It will help you to optimize and think that what question it is. So fortunately, Dr. Benny's English is perfect. He asked a specific question. Benny, go back. Yeah, it says that what are the biomaterials used in so we are not using perfect English. You can see that it tries to clean up the question so that it could go through the search from the platform itself to make sure that it can find the key relevant research papers around that. And next, it will also go through the keyword search like biomaterials. It will read open apostrophe and close apostrophe on hearing, etc. And you'll finalize the summary. So every question that you enter within ScienceDirect AI, it will go through the same steps, just to give you confidence that what the system is going to be pulling out to you later on. And next will be the summary that it will generate to you. So it searches through the whole ScienceDirect platform, about 30 million articles of today, and we're still doing them. It gives you an overview of biomaterials used, and you can see every summary that it's generating has a reference of an article that is pulling up from. So you can feel confident that whatever that is summarizing is not hallucination or made from unknown sources. And if you can, then you read any of the articles over there on top. Maybe, okay. So if you want a reference saying that this is based on article from Elsevier, and you can click on view articles to the full text of the article. And you can see the reading assistant immediately try to digest the article, why this article is relevant for you. So it's reading on your behalf and summarizing for you. And like I said earlier, the reading assistant is always on the article level. So if you go through the article and pull it up, the reading assistants will always be showing up, and then you can converse with the article. Any questions within that? Of course, if this article is interesting for you, keep it. If not, you move on back to the summary of ScienceDirect AI. Then you can go back to the ScienceDirect AI page. Then you continue reading. And then, of course, the summary is very lengthy. Depending on how precise your question is, the summary will go as precise as it can. And we go all the way down the summaries. It has key components. Next, just now I said the references from the summary, related insights, emerging trends from Scopus. Yeah, all this is for your discovery. Okay, we can stay at the compare experiments here. Okay. So based on the same research question of the biomaterials that was entered on the ScienceDirect box, it now starts to pull out all the experiments within those articles. So it's combing through the data and articles to churn out. So then I need help to reduce the window. Yep. Okay, so based on the same question, what are the biomaterials used in theory applications? You can see that they have already pulled out this particular article dated 2023. And in this particular article, there are 1, 2, 3, and maybe more experiments if you scroll down below. Typically, there may be 10 to 15 experiments being pulled out in one single search. So you bring out all the articles related to it and all the experiments associated to that particular article. So you can imagine how much time this will literally save you from your literature review to systematic review process. And you can download this in CSV, which is on the top right-hand side. Yeah. Okay. I see some nodding. I hope you are happy to see this feature. Time's up. Okay, great. I see some smiling faces if you have assignment right now. I think, okay, you can plan your weekend holiday. You can spend some time doing other things. All right, so moving back to the ScienceDirect AI main page. I saw PSNZ can subscribe to it soon. Okay, Gillian, maybe you can gather some feedback later on. So remember, sometimes in this era, we had no choice, but sometimes have to work alone. We may not have a research companion to bounce ideas with. We may not have people who think alike and you like to do your research alone. When you have a research companion like ScienceDirect AI, it also helps you to bounce further ideas. Like when we have a mind block, I keep telling some people that sometimes I do certain work, I just stuck. And I do not know how to proceed. And I need all those tools to help me think broaden my mind, my world, so that I can progress on with my research. So this is where sometimes I find that if you have the spare time, I want to go to the other research questions. Yeah, further down. You can see here, after you have gone through your own initial, you think this is the question that you have in mind. You enter that in. But then it will help you broaden your role by asking questions that you may not have framed it the way you initially thought. Again, as a non-speaking English country, not as native as the Americans and Australians, all these questions really help you to make sure that the question that you're actually shaping and molding is more, even more precise. And you can continue to, so the key thing about ScienceDirect AI is that the more precise your question is, the more relevant data and information is presented to you. So with that, I think this was the highlight of what I would like to share in this little short session. I welcome questions as you play around or online. If there's any questions, let me know. Let me say some of the questions that I've been hearing from the ground. UMT is also a subscriber of Scopus AI. Everyone use Scopus AI in some way or another? They are asking me what's the difference between Scopus AI and ScienceDirect AI. You have access to Scopus AI. That is with your access right now. Anyone, most of the people just now told me that you know ScienceDirect.com. Do you know what is Scopus.com? Can someone give me a nod? Or most people doesn't seem to know here. Am I right to say that? Okay. Looks like most people do not know what is Scopus. Scopus is an abstract database that only summarizes the abstract information globally. Whatever that is indexed in Scopus across all 2,000 plus publishers. It only search and find information on an abstract level. Like reading a storybook, sometimes you only look at the abstract introduction to see that whether, oh, I want to read further. ScienceDirect is full text. You read the entire storyline of ScienceDirect. Okay, that's the difference between Scopus and Scopus AI. Scopus and ScienceDirect itself. Scopus.com. Do you know what Scopus.com? You know. Okay. Scopus is abstract. It's only searching, if it means a Scopus AI, is only searching through the abstract of all the articles around that is indexed in Scopus. ScienceDirect is a full text article that you would like to read through the whole article and in ScienceDirect. Scopus is abstract, ScienceDirect is full text. So when you do AI within these two technologies, the difference is that you use Scopus when you want to look at the overall research overview of a particular topic. But if you want to go in depth and dig deeper on the research topic, you need full text to have a comprehensive understanding of the field that you are trying to research in. So when you use Scopus and Scopus AI, the benefit is Scopus, broad research trends and topics, finding collaborators, that is where you use Scopus and Scopus AI. But you want to understand deeper into the research field, you use ScienceDirect article, because we read through all the articles in text when you do the summary of the article. So when you do the synthesizing of those results, you will study through the full text. That's what AI technology, it reads through everything within the full text. But if the Scopus is only abstract, you may not be able to pull out discussion points, data for comparison. experiment table made in full detail because it only captures whatever is in abstract. So initially, when you are trying to think whether what research topic you are going to discover and learn more, you comment who has done what. What kind of who are the authors who have researched in this particular topic? What are the recent articles published across the world on this specific thing? You focus. Once you know that, okay, I would like to dive into marine biology, science, etc., in a specific sea culture, etc., then study what are the research in that field, in that. That's where you comb through all the research article in that ScienceDirect AI. Okay. Another question just now outside the room, somebody is asking, hey Gillian, I would like to only have findings and research summary based on articles published for the last 10 years. So in ScienceDirect AI, you do not create a limitation of can you search for articles published between 2010 to current? Again, what ScienceDirect do here is what is a research question? You can reframe your question by asking what are the recent developments in the last 10 years, 5 years on a gene development mutation, blah, 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 blah. You can try to reframe it, but what it will aim to do is it will try to find the most relevant information within ScienceDirect to pull out that data. So the more precise that you ask the question, the more detailed it will pull out the information. The third question I heard the most was, can I upload my article? I have preferred articles that I want you to synthesize and study, pull out. I do not just want it to be ScienceDirect data and ScienceDirect publication. We are in a journey to actually develop further as AI develop. We're also considering whether we can allow researchers, you have a preferred journal, preferred book, that article that you would like it to be using the AI technology to do the summary. We're also thinking of that. It might, in the next coming few months, you may be able to do that very soon. These are some of the typical questions I have seen so far. Do you have any other things that you may want to ask? Yes?
Okay, ScienceDirect AI, right? The question will ask and the answer will be recorded or not? Or is it able to?
Okay, I have someone here in the audience, the chemist. He was asking, is it safe? I think his question is it safe? Whatever question I copy, will it be studying my patterns? Will it record my search? Will my idea be stolen? Is it? Yeah, so good question. Every researcher is worried about that because that's where AI technology is trying to learn from humans, right? We embrace technology, but we're also scared of technology. So what is the thing that we are also considering is that we are working with a third-party AI company to actually generate that, but they are not allowed to study our data. So whatever questions that is entered in is not stopped by the third-party AI technology company. I hope that gives you assurance. Any other questions? And any questions on the chat room that you think I should answer?
One of the participants, you hope that ScienceDirect could subscribe to ScienceDirect AI.
Okay, thanks for the enthusiasm. First, right now, we have indeed open up access. Very open and happy that everyone could try and give your feedback to the library. And I would like to collect all your feedback as well using the links that I've shared. It's also in the chat box. Please give your direct feedback to the librarians. We will be calling them and then planning for the future budgeting of ScienceDirect AI for your universities. Any further questions? Okay, so if there's no further questions, this will be the end of my session. So, would you like to do the closing? All right, thank you everyone.